for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk.
You're listening to Reignite, a podcast about the onus of responsibility. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt, a.k.a. Stormageddon.
Meredith puts the champion to work hunting down 3 mages who have gone missing. Huon, an elven mage, returns to his wife. Evelina, a refugee from Kirkwall, returns to the children she rescued. And Emil just wants to have a good time.
Yeah.
Just wants to have a good time.
Yeah. Man, this mission. I've never wanted to tell an NPC "fuck you" so badly. Basically.
Yeah, I have opinions.
I mean, well, but the funniest thing about this is, at least the beginning of the mission, you have to go to the barracks where the Templars are and chat with her. Gallows, yeah. Yeah, it's really weird how the beginning of this conversation starts, because Meredith always treats you so hunky-dory like, and like she is so friendly to me, and the minute she asks me to go after mages, I immediately go, I'm not gonna help you do this because I'm a mage and I don't like what you do to mages.
Who did you bring to the gallows? I feel like that is important.
Oh yes. So I brought Isabella, Anders, and Fenris.
Anders, Fenris, and Varric.
Okay.
My squad, my good time boys.
Yeah. I mean,
Love
I've got to bring my so-and-so girlfriend with me. Supposed girlfriend, because I'm actually still not sure if that actually
your
stuck.
situationship?
Basically, yes.
Isabella is like the definition of situationship.
Yes, I would agree.
Okay, so talking to Meredith, she blatantly ignores sarcastic Hawk.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is out of character for her, because I don't feel like she's hunky-dory to me, ever.
Yeah.
I feel like she looks at me with disdain, and she's just like, this fucking guy.
Yeah, I don't know, because the way she talks, at least introing what she needs help with, she like, it's expectant of like, that will obviously say yes. And it's like, I fight her the whole way down in the conversation. Like, I refuse her, I fight back, I say I won't do it. And then she pulls these lines of like, if you want the people to still have faith in the champion of Kirkwall, you'll do what's right here. It's like, fuck you.
So basically what happened is there was an accident in the gallows, some phylacteries were destroyed, and a couple of mages took the opportunity to run. We both refused. I said, I will force no mage back under your yoke. Meredith tells us, prove that you're a champion in more than just name.
Yeah.
And she also says something that makes me really angry. She says she's trying to solve a difficult problem in as gentle a fashion as I dare. And what upsets me about that is that there is no gentleness in anything she does with mages. It appears like there's gentleness in asking a mage sympathetic person that the city turns to bring back these mages, or, as she says, investigate them, figure out if they should be brought back.
Yeah.
I think that, okay, here's my theory narratively. Not proven, this is just what I think from having played it. I think that Meredith knew that Huon and Evelina were too far gone.
Yeah.
I think that she sent her Templars after them. They terrorize these 2 people enough to push them over the edge, send Hawk in, so Hawk sees them go over the edge, creates a scene that spreads more anti-mage rhetoric through Kirkwall.
Yep.
Whereas I think the intention is that you go Huon, Evelina, and Emil, because that's kind of the order that they give them to you.
Yeah.
I went Emil first.
Yeah, I went the first order you stated. And
Yeah.
also, like, the other thing about Meredith is she talks the way politicians who know they're right but want to appeal to everyone, even though they're wrong. Like, she takes cruel things and tries to make them sound kind, and that's a political tactic that
Yeah.
I hate, and that feels so empty. And it's so bullface here now that, like, there's no way anyone believes you. Anyone who knows you doesn't believe you. I don't believe you. But I'm going to go investigate this not for you, but for me, because I want to make sure that these mages are okay. Turns out 2 of them won't be.
Right. I really wish that Orsino had some hand in this mission. Like,
Yeah.
would be able to give you alternatives. Or why can't Orsino give you the information about the mages? Why do you have to go speak to Elsa, a tranquil mage?
That drove me bonkers.
I feel like Orsino is not used effectively, especially here. You know, we're going after mages that have escaped. Maybe Orsino can tell us why the circle is a better place for them, or tell us no, they should go, and there is actually a secret mage underground, and I need your help in doing, like, get Orsino involved in some way.
Right. I mean, even for my character, Orsino should be involved more straight up, because I'm an apostate mage, and, like, there should have been conversations early on with Orsino about me, about the circle, about anything, right? Because I'm part of that community, my character is, and, like, there's none of that. Yeah, it's just we get this mission from... Now, I know that mechanically this is designed to give you FaceTime with Meredith, understand the character. If you're a Templar sympathizer, which if you are, I don't want to know you. I'm kidding. It's a video game. I'm kidding. But if you're a Templar sympathizer, obviously her views seem a little different. But, like, because we are both clearly playing characters who are in support of the mages, she just comes off as full of hot air and a pain in the ass.
It's really hard to not support mages, I think, when you see them as an allegory for a marginalized group. Like,
Sure.
I see them so plainly as an allegory for the LGBT community, especially with something that Anders says later to Emil. But before we get to that, let's move on a bit, unless you have anything more to say about Meredith's conversation with you.
No, more just to put a coda on what you were saying. Mostly I say what I say because I don't want people who decide to side with the Templars and are playing the video game as a video game to feel bad. Like, you are...
I know.
Yeah.
Totally understand, and I totally agree with you. I was speaking from my personal perspective, and how, like, because I see these allegories and these parallels, I find it really hard to justify for myself, like, oh, maybe I'll play the Templar side. I did that once, and I felt horrible. Like, truly and utterly depressed and upset with every playthrough. I had to give it up halfway through Inquisition. I could not do an all the wrong things playthrough.
Yeah, I think that this goes back to the decisions in this game being much harder. I found that while I didn't always love the choices in an all Renegade playthrough of Mass Effect, I felt like it was easier to stomach than doing it for Dragon Age, which admittedly I also didn't get very far doing it. And I think that speaks to the social commentary stuff that we're talking about, that these games engage in more than the Mass Effect series does.
Which is not to say that Mass Effect doesn't. I think we're
different.
being more critical of Dragon Age than we were of Mass Effect in a way.
For sure.
And I'm not sure if it's just because with Mass Effect there was so much nostalgia. Like, I have nostalgia for these games too, but I don't know.
Right. I think for me, it's Mass Effect, especially the trilogy, are my favorite games, some of my favorite games ever made. And so I think the critical lens might watch past me. I think also that was 6 or 7 years ago we started that.
So. I wasn't doing a PhD then.
Yeah. And, like, I'm in my 40s now. Like, I just feel and think differently than I did then.
Aww.
Okay. Enough. Let's move on.
So, like we said, we have Huon, Evelina, and Emil. The Knight Commander assumes that all apostates practice blood magic. Huon is an elf who has a wife living in Lowtown, or not, living in the alienage.
Yeah.
His wife's name is named Nissa. Elsa tells us that few other elves would risk hiding him because he's been gone for 10 years. Nobody knows him anymore. He doesn't have a strong sense of community there. We have Evelina, who is a circle mage from Ferelden. She rescued children orphaned by the Blight and brought them to Kirkwall and then turned herself into the circle. And then they treated her like an apostate because she left the Ferelden circle, which was utterly destroyed.
Yes.
Like, what? What are you what? And then there's Emil, who was brought to the circle when he was 6 years old. And he's just the son of a noble. And yeah.
Or legions, to be specific.
Yes. He's the son of the Comte de Lancey.
Yes.
And they haven't seen him since he was a child.
Yep.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah. And we get all this information from Elsa, who we mentioned earlier, who is literally a tranquil personal assistant to Meredith, and it makes me want to blow up the entire building.
Oh god, it makes me want to throw up so bad. Because when we say, like, what the fuck about it, Elsa explains Meredith believes that tranquil mages are single-minded and focused, and I just happen to be very good at organizing. And I feel like if Elsa said, like, oh, I'm just really good at organizing, like, I have a skill for doing that, not a lot of tranquil mages, like, not a lot of people do. And right. She chose me because I'm good at organizing, not because I'm tranquil. Like, I would feel less gross about it. I still hate the fact that she's tranquil, but it's worse.
Yeah.
When you contextualize it as she chose me because I'm tranquil and I'm good at organizing.
Yeah. And I mean, also the thing about tranquil mages is because they are brought to this state. Like they speak what, like they have a very straightforward train of thought. They speak what they're told, and like she follows orders without question. And if you ask her why, she's going to say what Meredith said to her because she sees no reason not to. There's no emotional influence. And so, yeah, it's just kind of gross all around, and I hate it. And I just want to, I don't know what. But Anders also is not very fond of it and kind of loses his shit.
Pissed.
Yeah.
It's a magical lobotomy.
Basically, yes.
Like, that's what it is. And it's upsetting. It's supposed to be upsetting. It does a good job being upsetting. Let's say that.
Yes.
Like, they are doing a good job making you feel what they want you to feel.
Yeah, like, I am pissed as the player character, but from a game design perspective, it makes sense that Meredith would do this based on her character, and so, like, it is good character development for a terrible person.
Yes. We are on the same page there. Okay. Since you went Huon, Evelina, Emil, let's go in that order.
Okay.
So Huon, we know that Nissa is in the alienage during the day. We can talk to her about whether or not she has seen Huon and what information she has. Hang on, I have to scroll down to my notes because I did them out of order. So when we approach Nissa, she says, when I spoke to the Templars, I was telling the truth. I had not seen him. After they left, he came to me. And he was completely different. He's obsessed with showing everyone true elven power. You know, I know that he didn't leave me. He was taken away. He was dragged away in chains. And this new Huon, this is not the man that I married. And I'm kind of scared of him.
Yeah, and so we can offer, and I assume we both did, to come back and protect her at night.
Yeah.
To, like, kind of hang out in case he comes back. Because she said that he said to her that he plans to come back and take her away from all this.
Yeah, which I guess he wasn't lying.
Yeah, and so when we come back at night, unfortunately, we're a few minutes too late. Huon uses blood magic to control Nissa and kill her to use her blood to take revenge.
Which, by the way, call shenanigans on, because I literally went into Meryl's house and came right back out.
I did the same thing. I was there. I would have heard the commotion.
I saw her. I was looking at her. And then suddenly he was there. Why can't I just be like, Nissa, no?
Yeah. And so
It
of
makes me
course
so
he
angry that you can't save Nissa.
no, and that he does this, and so it's the like I just wrote a blood mage in my notes because I was so mad that it went this route because
Yeah.
it's so predictable. But anyway, so then he kills Nissa, summons demons, and we have to fight him. We beat him, and that's that.
He was
That's the
kinda
end
tough.
of that branch. He was. That's the end of that branch of the mission. There's no resolution. There's nothing we can do for Nissa. There's nothing we can do for him. We just kill him, and it's done. And it was
That was-
very frustrating.
I agree with you entirely. I think that each of these steps needed some kind of moral outcome, or like Hawk needed some agency in this and Hawk had none.
Yeah, and I think part of that is to like I think for people who are maybe more neutral or don't have as much sympathy for mages, this is meant to show the worst side of it. And I mean, even when we're running around doing these missions, Fenris is like, what would your alternative be? You see what they're doing? Like, he does feel very strongly how Meredith feels in these moments when we talk to him, when we encounter these rogue mages.
This is why I was saying that I think that this is, in a way, orchestrated by Meredith. I think you were intended to go Huon, Evelina, and then Emil, so that by the time you get to Emil to make his decision, the decision that you make may be different because what you've already seen.
Right.
So I think Meredith's plan was, if I give these names in this order, then that is likely what they'll do.
Right.
And yeah. So if I were to go back in time and be like, hey, Dragon Age developers, here's what you should do from a narrative standpoint for the player needs a moment of agency. If your point is to show how destructive magic can be, whether to further Meredith's conspiracy or to play to the Templar favoring characters, you can still have Huon turn the way he turns, but give Hawk a moment to try and get Nissa away from him.
Yeah.
And there can be a choice there of whether you decide to kill Nissa yourself, so that way he can't use her for blood magic. You can convince Nissa to push back against him. Like, there are options that are small and would make this sub-mission, the sub-quest, feel a lot less frustrating, I think. I think just one action, one moment of agency would have taken this from being a kind of meh quest to just being better.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it also, though, the flow of it, like you said, if you go Huon, Evelina, Emil, for Evelina and Emil, we get to make a choice, not always necessarily about the mage, but we get to make choices in those. And so I do think this was meant to be a plain combat experience and then have more narrative experiences if you go in that order. But I do agree that adding any kind of agency or interaction or something here, especially in a game where they laud how important choice is and seems to be very important a lot of the time. I do get the fatigue during some of these story missions where I feel like nothing I do matters because some of the way some of these missions play out. Now, to that end, when we finished Act 2, the stuff with all of the Qunari, that did feel like it had impact and mattered in some way, and then in other ways it didn't. And I think the truncated thing about Dragon Age 2 is what makes some of it feel unimportant because it feels so kind of rushed and pushed along, which famously was rushed. Right. We know it was rushed development and all of that. And so on some level, I'm amazed they were able to accomplish what they were able to accomplish with this game the way that they did with such a short development cycle. But on the other hand, it does make me lament, like, couldn't we have made some other smarter choices, even if it meant, like, because there are also tons of side quests, as we've discussed, that feel kind of throwaway as well, and others that feel way more weighty. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that diatribe again.
No, I understand.
So, yes.
What I think is important for us to note is that this quest, to me, shows that there was so much potential here that got wasted.
I agree.
So, unfortunately, we can't save Nissa. We have to fight Huon. He talks about how beautiful she was, and this mission is tough on Fenris, you know? it's showing him all of his fears about mages being validated.
Yeah, because they are acting in the way that he suspects. And like, it's interesting when he and Anders talk later, it's him basically going, you know, what would you have me do? You see what's happening. And of course, Anders' defense is they're pushed to this. If we don't push them to this, they won't do this. And they're both right in the sense that there will always be mages who choose to be terrible, just like there are people who choose to be terrible. But the thing that Anders said, right, that's what Anders said, is you cannot put all of the actions of all mages on these few, which I think is important.
There's a moment that we'll get to, but essentially, I agree with you. Fenris has a very good point. However, he is not seeing, he's not seeing the vulnerable, and he's not seeing the innocent. He's only seeing the violence and the fear. And I don't think that we get enough opportunities to show Fenris that vulnerability.
Yeah, I mean, it's why alarmist rhetoric works, because people are motivated by fear. And if you scare them with the worst of the worst, they won't consider the other side of it. It is no different to the lies spread about a certain nationality or orientation or you know, sexual orientation or gender presentation, right? You say these terrible things that they're capable of, and people want to believe it because they're terrified, quote unquote, for the kids or whatever else, right? Like every bathroom argument about what if a guy dressed as a woman goes in the bathroom, what about my kids? It's like, you don't care about your kids. You're making up a situation that doesn't happen, and that terrible people would do those things regardless of whether transgender people existed or not. Like it's feeding into the fear and lack of logic of those folks who are just panicked, and it's unfair, and it's taking advantage of, which is what Meredith here is trying to do with people who are on the fence about mages. Like, show them the worst of it, right? Because there is a world in which someone's hawk is truly neutral to mages or doesn't know what to think, and these kinds of acts could sway them.
Yeah, I agree. And the world's a terrible place. Let's go on to Evelina, shall we?
Yeah, so when we go to Darktown, we are encounter two orphans who basically tell us that they were rescued from Ferelden, along with a lot of other orphans that they're living with, thanks to Evelina. But when she came back, something was wrong, and she basically, like, they could tell that she was different. Something had happened. She was in a panicked state, and basically act badly, was embarrassed or terrified, and ran off to the sewers to get away from them.
Okay. Before we talk about the story.
Yeah.
Before we talk about the story aspect of this, can we please address the terrible character design for children in this goddamn game?
Like, I think he was meant to, I can't remember both of their names now.
Cricket and Walter.
No, the older Walter has a bad, like, porn mustache, basically, because I think he's meant to be a teenager.
He looks like he is 17 years old and, like, just growing in his mustache. He looks fine. Like, they succeeded with Walter. Cricket, however...
I know. He looks like you took the character model for an adult human and made it shorter and skinnier.
And
but without actually making it look like... His voice, yeah.
His voice is that of a 33-year-old man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Get a child. Like,
or get a 33-year-old man who can sound like a child, because that exists also.
That was awful. So terrible. And it took me right out of the moment.
Yeah.
I was just like, Dragon Age, no. And this is not specifically Dragon Age 2, because they did this in Origins.
Yeah, they've done it in a lot of places. I mean, it's a whole other can of worms. We talked about how there are no children or fat people in space in Mass Effect, so, like, it's just, anyway.
Except creepy ghost children
who may or may not be real. Anyway, so we chat with the two of them, and they basically tell us where she is, and we're like, all right, well, we'll go talk to her. And when we head into the sewers, we're immediately attacked.
It's really important for us to say that they're scared of her.
They are. I said that. Yeah. when she returned, she was clearly different, and they were terrified of her. And she also, in a moment, felt bad that she was also terrifying them, and so she
ran away in her shame.
Yeah, and so, but they plead with us not to go after her because they're scared of her, and we assure them that we can protect them and that we will see if we can go help her because we want to help. And the minute we get into the sewers, we are attacked by hordes of demons. Yay!
So many demons. So many demons and so many traps. Like a surprising amount of traps.
Yeah. Which I just kind of tanked my way through. I didn't even bother to look
just
for
ran
them.
straight into them, and you're like, this is fine.
Yeah, I mean, basically after the first one went off and we were surrounded by demons, I went, well, I can't do anything about this now. And so I just kind of sucked it up.
I mean, I'm already used to being surrounded by fire. This is whatever.
I know, right? Once we fight our way through the demons, before we get to Evelina, we run into the kids again. They wanted to let her know that we were coming and like say that we were coming to help and try and make sure that she wouldn't get mad, and she gets
they were
mad.
Warning her about us.
In
the hopes,
right.
In the hopes that she wouldn't be mad at them.
That's right.
Because Cricket told us where to find her. Yeah. So if she gets mad, it's going to be at Cricket for telling.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what they think. So they think that the way to get around it is to be like, they're coming, you have to get away. But she turns again, and they're scared again.
Yeah, and this time she becomes an abomination. It's not like Huon, who was using blood magic but hadn't become an abomination. Evelina becomes an abomination and attacks you, and so you have no choice but to fight her.
And I think that as Evelina is transforming, she makes a very interesting point. She says that Hawk is a traitor because Hawk was also a refugee. Now they're living in Hightown.
Yep.
Now they have a lot of money. And what are they doing to give back to their people? And, you know, the story doesn't really give us a lot of opportunities to do that.
Right.
It is kind of just Hawk doing whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And just going along with the flow. And Hawk doesn't really have this huge drive to do something for the refugees. Like, as champion of Kirkwall, Hawk could be taking on a stronger role in helping what refugees are still impoverished and improving the quality of Lowtown. Like, Hawk could become a political figure, but we don't really get that opportunity.
No, and like there are time jumps, so we don't know what he's done, and there are some side quests early in the game where we do get to stand up for Eldons, like the workers in the mine and all of that.
Yeah.
But they do feel few and far between where we get those moments to like help those in need, you know. And then we do take the time here. So I think this wraps into the conclusion of this mission, so we should get to that. So after we fight all the demons and we defeat Evelina, Hawk says to the boy...
She turns into a couple of demons.
Yeah, transforms.
She cycles through a bunch.
Once you defeat her, you speak to the boys again and basically say, you know, this isn't who she was. She was pushed to this. You should remember how she was, not what she became. And then you're given an opportunity to give the boys money, which we both did. And I think...
Yeah.
It's clear that Hawk feels bad and that Hawk knows he's not doing it, knows they're not doing enough. And so I think this is that moment where if you give the money, like you're acknowledging that disparity and that you want to at least do something. And the boys immediately say they're going to go buy food. They haven't eaten in a while. So like it goes to a good place.
And not just for themselves, for other kids too.
Right. They are sharing the space with other orphans who were rescued by Evelina. It's not just the two of them. And so like, it's clear that Hawk wants to do good. How much good Hawk can do is unclear because we don't have the whole picture again because of the development and the structure of this game. We are playing the hits, basically. Because remember, this is also the storytelling of Varric. We're not actually playing as Hawk.
True.
We're playing as the version of Hawk that Varric is talking about. And so there are obviously holes in stuff because Varric doesn't know everything. And so... for all we know, Hawk could have done more, but Varric didn't know. I don't know that would necessarily be true since Varric knew basically a lot. But we have to keep remembering that we are playing a version of Hawk being story told to Cassandra.
Yeah, for sure. It's the Mary Sue Hawk.
Yes, basically.
Because the hawk can do nothing wrong.
Yes.
But also, we also have to remember that it is also our version of Varric's version of Hawk.
Correct. So we do have some agency in it, but it is still a story being told. But yeah, I mean, Evelina has a valid point, but it does seem like, again, depending on how you play your Hawk, at least for the two of us, that there is some, sympathy, and he feels bad, and so wants to at least help where they can.
Let's pop over to the Delances.
Oh my god, this whole first part of this mission, it's like, if I could roll my eyes out of my head, they would have fallen out of my head.
So, alright. I did Emil's first because it seemed the easiest, because I just have to talk to some rich people and find out what they did with their son. They are so not good at making women look older, by the way.
Nope.
Because he did a good job making the Comte look like an adult man.
Yeah.
Like an older man with a 20-something-year-old son. But Dulcie looks like she's 20.
Yeah, well, and also they've done it before. I mean, like Wynn in the previous game, and like there are characters who do look, the older women who do look good and are designed well in these games, but for whatever reason here, and maybe she's meant to be young, it's unclear, but
I don't know. If she was 16, let's say, when she had Emil,
yeah,
like we're trending down because fantasy and that's kind of the world that they built up. And what's his face is 26.
Yeah.
So she is 30, 42?
Yeah.
So she does not look like a 42-year-old woman.
She does not.
But yeah. Okay, so when we arrive in the mansion, we sit down with Dulcie, the wife of the Comte, who tells us, I haven't seen him, but he's such a good boy. I'm sure he'll turn himself in. Like, don't worry about it. And then the Comte comes in being like, what the fuck did you do?
Yeah, like, obviously she's lying, and now lying again. It turns out he did show up. He gave her money.
She gave him money.
She gave him money. And apparently now he's using said money to pick up girls in the Hanged Man and flaunt his wealth and quote-unquote hide. And the father basically says, it's a miracle he hasn't been picked up by the Templars yet. Please go help him.
Like, he's not a blood mage. He's just an idiot. Please.
Honestly, mood.
Please go rescue my foolish child.
And so we, from there, what's interesting here is that when you go to, before you go to the Hanged Man, on the map usually it shows where the quest markers are. I didn't have one. I went there anyway because they mentioned it. And yeah, when we walk in.
Mine was, did you go, were you on the night screen?
I don't think so. I was on the day screen, I thought.
Oh, because I had it on the day screen.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was not on the night screen. That's why.
Could have been a glitch or a bug. Who knows? I'm playing on PC. But when we get to the Hanged Man, he's at the end of one of the long tables, literally face down.
Wait. I'm sorry. I have to, before we get to him at the Hanged Man, I want to talk about how I looted the entire DeComte house.
Did you? I did.
House. Yes.
I left immediately.
I looted the entire house. I was
Good
like,
Lord.
This is what you get for lying to me. I'm wasting my time. Like,
I should get paid.
This is what you get.
Yeah.
I should get paid. Give me everything in your house. Which is worth it because there's a Qunari sword in one of the chests, and one of our side missions is to collect Qunari swords.
Oh. Well,
so
then
it was worth it.
I guess I can't complete that quest because I didn't do that.
Nope.
That's fine.
Unless you can go back into the I keep saying the Comte de Lance.
I don't know. I think
anyway.
so.
But one thing that really amused me is you can open so many more doors in this house than you can in any other place.
Oh, really?
I'm like, why can I explore so much of this mansion? And you can also go upstairs to the bedroom where they retired, and the Comte is sitting at his desk, and he's like, my son's an idiot. And Dulcie's like sprawled out on the bed, like, just she faints and she's so distressed and she's like, oh, he's at the hangman. That place is so filthy.
Oh, man. Oh,
Yeah.
rich people.
Oh, Dulcie. They're silly. So, yes, when we get to the hangman, as you were saying, Emil is passed out. Does Emil hit on you?
No. Although he should have, but, you know, hey.
What did Emil say?
He was basically like trying to, he wasn't hitting on us, but he was like trying to be buddy. Like, hey, come have a drink. Let's talk to some ladies.
Okay. First of all, the character design for Emil is unhinged.
It's so weird.
Why does he have a tonsure? He's 26 years old.
Yeah. They make him look like he's 50 or 40.
Why did you do this to this foolish child? Also, why does he have an Orlesian accent? He was raised in the Kirkwall.
Yeah.
The Kirkwall Circle.
Yeah.
He was 6.
Yeah, he would have lost it by the time he became an adult.
Oh my god. And so, because I'm playing a feminine Hawk, he hits on Hawk immediately, and I was like, gross. I need a bath. And he's like, I'll bathe you with my tongue. And everyone's like, can we kill him? Can we kill him yet? Is that where this is going?
Do you know the meme from like the Fallout games of like the background with the green text and it says everyone disliked that? Like is basically what happens. Is like yeah, like why?
Oh, he's not doing good with anyone in my party. Anders is like, he can't function in the real world. Like, what are we gonna do about this?
Yeah.
This idiot started a rumor that he's a blood mage because he wanted to be cool and dangerous.
Yeah, like the minute we start talking about mage stuff and like that, you know, the Templars are looking for him, he's immediately groveling basically. And it's like, no, I'm not really a blood mage. I was just making that up to the only people I've told are all the women in this bar. It's like, oh my God.
Just, I want to impress women. He's been in the circle since he was 6. He has never stood in the rain, which I think is wrong because they do have outdoor areas in the circle.
Yeah.
And he's never kissed a girl, which Anders' response to this is what sells things for me, is Ferelden was more fun. Everyone was kissing everyone. Not all the boys were kissing girls. Not, like, no binary there. Just everyone was kissing everyone else. It was gay all the time. Everybody was smooching.
Sounds like a dream, honestly.
Like, right? And that is what, for me, cements this allegory of queerness.
Yeah.
Because why else would you say that?
Well, sure. And I think also it has some parallels to real life witchcraft as well, and how that is often very queer coded. In my recent trips to Salem, it seems like queerness and witchcraft go hand in hand. And so there's a lot of that, I think, in this writing as well about the mages in Dragon Age. Yeah. Also, like, I like how fun Anders is in the expansion of the first game, though his voice actor can go to hell in the first game. But in this game, like, it bums me out how put upon Anders is, because when he's funny, he's still really funny. He's that same goofy character, but we get to see so little of it.
I agree. And I understand why we see so little of it, because, you know, he's going through a really traumatic time in the world.
Yeah.
And it's hard to be funny when everyone you know is dying.
No, of course. It's just, I like this character a lot. He's very complex. I feel like I enjoyed his characterization in the expansion more because he was just like goofy fun times, because he had
more freedom.
Right, correct. And now he's also sharing his body with the spirit of vengeance, basically now. Not even justice, just vengeance.
Oh.
Anyway.
My poor babies.
Anyway, so Emil has clearly proven that he is an idiot, and so you have an option here to either basically kick him in the ass or give him money and tell him to get the hell out.
So, multiple versions of... Okay, you can be like, go back to the circle, you moron.
Yeah.
You can be like, okay, why don't you get one good fuck in, and then you can go back to the circle.
Uh-huh.
Or you could be like, your mother gave you money to leave. What the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
So those are your options.
Yes. I chose to give him money and to not give him money, to say, use your money and get out. That's what it was for.
Yeah.
If you do not, the Templars are going to kill you, basically.
Yeah. I say the same thing. Fenris is like, this has to be an act. Like, this can't be real. And Anders is like, no. No, he's really that pathetic.
Yeah.
I can tell. And I just want to talk about the consequences of the action we didn't choose.
Yeah.
Which was go back to the circle / fuck this girl and then go back to the circle.
Mm-hmm.
If you let him have sex with this woman, she will go to the Delances and be like, I'm pregnant with Emil's child.
Oh my God.
So everybody gets mad at you for the scandal.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I had Isabella with me. So my option was to have Isabella sleep with him, which I didn't choose, obviously.
Right.
Because I don't want this weirdo sleep. I also don't want this weirdo sleeping with my girlfriend. Also, it's not my choice to offer that. Like, it's not my place.
If she said, I'll fuck him, then that's different. But to be like, hey, you could fuck this guy. I think that's rude.
I think that is very rude.
I think that is incredibly rude. Like, I think there's a difference between you can ask my friend if she is interested.
Yeah.
Versus, hey, friend.
Right. I think this is one of those places where we see that my assumption is this was designed by male members of the dev team. I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong, but like I just don't feel like if Emil was a woman and you were in the same position that they would put in a section for you to go, hey, sleep with my guy friend, right? Like it feels very dehumanizing.
Also, like, in what world would that be a female mage's motivation?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, that's the same thing also as like, this is a more believable male character than female character, though that said, it's possible. But yeah, it's just the whole thing feels...
It is possible. It's just, yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It is terrible.
I tell him to leave. You tell him to leave. Yeah. So he gets on a boat and he goes. We go back to the gallows. And I don't know if this conversation happened for you. You did have them both in your party. What are their names? Fenris and Anders are talking about Meredith. And Fenris is like, she's the only one who's actually doing something. And Anders is like, do you not see that she is unhinged? Like, she is insane. Yeah.
Well, it's a conversation I referred to before about how basically Fenris is like, you know, at least someone's doing something. I mean, you've seen what they're capable of. And Anders is like, but we're not a monolith. We're not just those bad mages. Anyone can be a bad person. This is more complicated than that. Like, you cannot put the morality of the entire group of mages on these handful of mages who give into blood magic under the pressure of what the Templars are doing. They wouldn't have done this stuff if they felt like they had no choice.
So, Fenris says, it's a good quote, but I disagree with him. Mages in glass houses shouldn't throw fireballs. It's a good take on that quote. I do think it's good writing. But when we get in, here's what fuels my theory about Meredith. She already knows that Huon and Evelina are dead. But there's no report on Emil. I tell her that Emil was killed.
Same.
Does Fenris say anything?
No.
Okay. So if you aren't good enough friends with Fenris, if you're like somewhere in the middle with him, he'll out you as a liar.
Wow.
So, thankfully, we have his support enough that he doesn't say anything.
I did, after this conversation, get 10 rivalry with him, though.
Yeah, that's fair. We tell her that Emil was killed, and she goes, interesting. No body, no witness. Well, anyway.
Yeah, like, she doesn't fight us on it. I think also, on some level, Meredith knows that she can only get away with or do so much, and so she is going to continue to push up until where she sees the limit is to get what she wants, but still doesn't want to completely push away or alienate Hawk because then she can't use Hawk, basically.
Yeah. Did you tell her that the Templars caused this?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I absolutely blame her for everything. Any opportunity to blame Meredith for everything that's happening, I take. I am playing a mage who is fed up with this city, how they are treated, how their friends are treated, and so any opportunity to tell Meredith that she's terrible and the worst, I take.
Okay, great. Because when you say, like, is it any wonder they're so desperate because of the way you treat them?
Yeah.
Fenris pushes back and says, like, we're not going to hold them accountable for their actions. Which, you are correct. We should hold them accountable for their actions. But if we want to prevent more mages from ending up like these mages, we need to look at what pushed them so far to begin with. We need to look at preventative measures. And if we keep things going the way they're going, we're just going to have more mages who explode, who fall to abominations because they don't know what else to do. Because they're terrified. They're pushed against a wall.
Yep.
And
Yeah, I don't understand. Are you saying the central conflict of this video game is frustrating?
It's too real. It's so upsetting.
Yeah.
I'm so upset all the time. Like, I'm not even joking anymore. Like, I am so tired, and the world is so broken. My friends were trapped in the Caribbean where they were on vacation with their family. They could not leave the Caribbean because all flights were canceled because airspace was what's the word that I'm looking for? Airspace was blocked. Like, there was no air traffic allowed between the US and Venezuela.
Oh my god.
Because what happened with the Venezuelan president and his wife.
Yeah.
And my friends were trapped and they couldn't leave. And it took them 3 days to get home.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay, they were trapped in the Caribbean. They were trapped at a resort. They are fortunate in where they wound up stuck. But still, it's really stressful. And I'm sure that there were other people who were not as fortunate.
Yes.
And it just highlights how fucked up everything is. And I was terrified for my friends.
Yeah.
And I'm just so tired, guys.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, look, I have friends in Minneapolis, and after everything that happened last week, it's just so much.
Harley's family is in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
Harley has 2 little nieflings.
Mm-hmm.
And Harley's sister messaged her to tell her what had happened. And was like, it was 5 minutes away from where the kids go to school.
Yeah.
And it is so hard to be a person when everything in the world is falling apart. And sometimes this game is not the lighthearted escape from reality that I would like it to be. Because instead it is, here is reality, but there's also a dragon.
Yeah. 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 We did not start this branch of this podcast in an expectation that it would be paralleling real life current events, and yet here we are.
Like, I knew that there would be real life parallels, but it's just so much all the time.
Yep.
So much. How am I supposed to do anything when everything feels pointless?
Yep.
Like, I know that it's not pointless, and there are things that we can do to push back, and it's about surviving. Sometimes the best resistance is to survive. It just doesn't feel like that all the time.
I mean, the hopelessness is real. I had a battle with that last week. After all of this stuff happened, or this week, time has no meaning anymore.
Time is a lake.
It
happens all at once.
You can only be optimistic for so long. You can only have faith and keep moving. And I think the hardest part of any of this for those of us who have jobs and are in the workforce and who are going to work every day is that there is an expectation by your bosses and your colleagues to be unaffected and keep doing your job. It's the heart of capitalism, right? Doesn't matter what's happening. You have to go make money so you can eat and live. And I think that in essence becomes some of the hardest parts, is that you have to just go to your job and do your work. You cannot question, ask, or talk about it, or there aren't always places to talk about it.
Yeah, you have to keep working while the world is crumbling around you.
Yep.
I do really, I have to say, I do really appreciate my former boss, Brian Murphy from Murph Consulting. If you're in New York and you need an IT guy, check out Brian Murphy. Because when horrible things happened in the world, Brian would message everyone and be like, "Hey, we're gonna do an open Zoom. Pop in if you need to talk, decompress. Like, I do not expect you to just work, because everything's fucked up."
Yeah.
And Brian always came from a place of empathy and care, and it applied to his staff and his clients, and he's a really great guy. So I was very fortunate that whenever something really fucked up and awful happened in the world, Brian did everything in his power to make his team feel like, hey, you are not a capitalist robot to me. You are a person that I care about. You're a part of my team, and you deserve space to decompress and process your feelings.
Yeah, and those people are out there. I shouldn't speak as if it's a monolith that none of us get to do it. But there is that pressure. And so, like, we make this as an escape for you. We hope it can be, but we totally understand also if this game becomes heavier as things get worse, because it is basically a straight line between the two now. It's not even like one is sort of like the other. It's basically the same, and so that overlap can become pretty heavy. So if you need to go play a video game where there are cute and cuddly things instead of this for a while, we totally understand.
Are there stats for how many times I've cried on this podcast? Because
I don't think so, because I think we lost count after a while.
Yeah, because I'm crying again. I'm not sure if it's because I'm sad or because I'm tired. Oh my god.
Could be both.
Yeah, so that's that quest.
Yeah.
That's over.
Yes. We also, before we get into Fandom Corner and wrap up the episode, we do have fan mail, and I'll play it right now.
Hey everybody, this is Adam, everybody's favorite lover of Turian women. Boy, that's going to sound weird and not make any sense to people who have only done the Dragon Age seasons. Anyway, I wanted to, finally get my voice out here and share some thoughts on the most recent episode. Most specifically, I just kind of wanted to throw my 2 cents in to more or less agree with Frankie and Storm about the frustrations I have with Aveline and, to a lesser extent, Sebastian, and kind of drill in a little bit from my point of view on why Aveline is so frustrating in this game. And it seems to be the focus, regardless of what we choose to do or say or interact with her, the focus of Aveline's whole story seems to be getting over the death of her husband and then getting into a relationship with one of her subordinates, which just feels icky, and then B, becoming comfortable in herself as head of the guard, sure, but functionally just a middle manager. She doesn't want to make the town guard better in any demonstrable way. She's just happy with everything is running smoothly and I don't hear about the issues anymore. By way of future comparison, we get a character in Dragon Age Inquisition that we can help make her organization a little better moving forward, or at least that is the character's intent and goal. And I think that helps a lot. Thank you, Reese, for your chime-ins are very helpful. Please edit around any of this that is not usable. And then, yeah, Sebastian suffers from being a DLC character, kind of like Kasumi, kind of like Zaid. They aren't built with enough to do with them for you to have any kind of real growth with him. You can hear my cat Reese very much agrees with everything I'm saying. By contrast, to look at Ashley in the Mass Effect series, when I was going back through the Legendary Edition, I intentionally saved Ashley. I was like, okay, we're going to make her as better as we can by the end of this. And if you fully commit to Paragon teaching Ashley Williams by the end of the game one, if you fully commit as a Paragon to teaching Ashley and getting her to grow past her views, by the end of game one, she will be the one who is arguing to save the Destiny Ascension versus Liara arguing that we can't sacrifice those human lives. And I get that it's mostly a mechanics thing of the Paragon Renegade and getting in good with a specific teammate who's built that way, but having that as an option feels like they intended more growth from her than they ever really did with Aveline, who, as you both said, she just is ready to get back to square one, even. She does not want to see the problems that she doesn't see naturally. And that's really frustrating, especially given the parallels we have with specific groups and individuals in our real world. Hopefully next time I will have something more fun to chime in with than how disappointing our companions can be. But until then, thanks for listening to me, listening to y'all. And all Templars are bastards.
Thanks for that. And as always, we encourage anyone and everyone to send us in either an email or a voice message or anything. But enough of that. Let's move on to Fandom Corner.
Yeah, so can hobbies have fandoms?
Sure, why not?
I don't know. I've been finding a lot of solace in crocheting, and it lets me disconnect and do something that has a visible outcome. But also, the act of participating in an activity that is perceived as domestic or feminine is a subversive act. So, making your own clothes, making gifts for your friends, reclaiming and upcycling thrifted clothes. It might be a small action, but it's still an action that you can take when you're feeling overwhelmed by everything around you. So, instead of pointing to a specific fandom this week, I want to know what you have created for your fandoms. For yourself, is there something you want to create? I have been thinking about taking up quilting so that I can make quilted Warden's armor because John and I want to cosplay characters from the Veilguard.
That's fun.
So I want to know about your crafts. I want to know what you create.
That's
what
a really...
What do you create, Matt?
Podcasts. That's what I create. I create podcasts.
We both create white noise.
Basically. So to that end, I still have my San hood that you made from Princess Mononoke that I haven't worn in a while, but I still have. San
Keep
is
you warm in those bitter winters.
Yeah, San, aka the alleged Princess Mononoke, the hood that she wears in the early parts of the film. I have in my drawer with my workout stuff because it had the days that it's cold enough to wear it, I'm usually going to work and I could wear it to work, but I can't really wear it to work. So
you just fear the world too much, Ebenezer.
Sure. What's that from? Sorry, I'm Jewish. I don't understand.
You do understand because you watch that with me every year for 5 years.
I know. I could never forget.
You could never forget.
In the vein of trying to get through the horrors as they persist, my fandom corner this week is a comedy music band called OCT, which stands for On Company Time. I first discovered them. Luke, Vinny, and Peter are all creators on TikTok, usually creating short skits and comedy. And while TikTok I have complicated feelings about after all it's gone through in the last year, I still use it as a resource for humor because there are a lot of creators on that app who are genuinely funny and kind that I get a lot of hope from. And this is the three of them. They kind of went viral with a song called Half Man, Half Horse about a person who is a half man, half horse. that was very goofy and silly, and they have gone on to create a full album of songs that have cover a variety of topics that are goofs, either in their style or what they're about. Like they have a song called Don't Touch My Clogs, which is just this legacy song about a grandfather passing down his sacred clogs to other people and not letting people touch them. It's like a synthy pop song. They do a song called Pop Pop, which is basically like a Sniper Precise, like not takedown, but like parody of Europop from like the 90s and 2000s with nonsensical lyrics, like self-referential nonsensical lyrics. They do a song about a song called Frictionless Wipe. I don't think I have to explain what that means. And as someone who's had stomach issues all my life, someone making a poop song is very funny to me because honestly, I have to live with it, so we should get a laugh about it. But like, there's tons of other great songs on the album, and like, it's just very goofy, silly kind of poop humor, like old internet humor. But it's self-aware, and like, you know, I've been a Lonely Island fan for a very long time, and Weird Al, and so many other creators, Insane Ian. Like, I love comedy music, and I don't always feel in the mood to listen to it. And often when I go to a dark place, I lean into it and listen to sad music, which is another way to do it, you know, cry your way through, which I do often also. But this past week, I've been trying to lean into the humor and feel better. And it's been really helpful. And so I'm grateful for this band. They're going to be here in May in New York. And so I'm hopefully going to go see them then. But like, they're a fairly small group. I don't quite know how popular they are outside of my own zeitgeist because I see them all the time on TikTok. But I really like their stuff. And I think if you're looking for something to make you laugh, that also is very good music, which is like, it's the Lonely Island thing of like, not only are they funny, but they are talented musicians as well. I think it's worth your time. Their music videos are very funny and silly as well. If you need a starting point, again, I would say that the best one is Half Horse, Half Man. It's just a silly song about a half horse, half man hiding away from the world until he finally finds a date, and it turns out to be a woman who loves him for who he is. And it's a very silly but fun story about acceptance and like self-acceptance while being about a half man, half horse. So I think if you're looking for a laugh, they're definitely worth checking out. I am also excited to say, as of a few weeks ago, I got off of Spotify. I'm no longer giving them money because of them running ICE ads and giving data to ICE. And so now I'm using Apple Music, which Apple as a company, also questionable stuff. Like, you can't win in capitalism, but like, I'm at least not supporting ICE ads anymore. So I feel like that's a win. And that said, also, as someone who was on Spotify for a while, even while they were still doing that, because I need to move all my playlists off as a DJ, I need to keep all of that data. So with all that said about Spotify, though, no shame if you're still using it. Like, we all make the concessions we can, right? That's something I'm talking about a lot, and spinning off of this fandom corner is, we have to live, and we live in a capitalist society. And while a lot of it can be excuses, and excusing everything isn't helpful, you have to fight your own battles, right? You have to do what you can do. If you're on a Spotify family plan with someone else that you're not paying for, but it's the only way you can access music, and that music brings you joy so you can survive the hellscape, like, we're doing the best we can. And like, the thing I'm trying to do less in 2020 is to take to social media and outrage about the people using the thing made by the thing, because it's so fucking dumb. Like, you have to fight your own battles. Like, I've already decided, after the shit that went down with Rockstar this past year, where they fired everyone who was trying to unionize, that I'm never buying a Rockstar game again. I am not buying GTA 6. I don't want to give that company money because they treat their employees like shit. But I'm also not going to judge the millions of people who are going to buy GTA because they've been waiting for it for 10 years or whatever. Like, because also the developers still, like, they're people too, not just the people in charge. And so, anyway, just do the best you can. We're all trying to survive.
Rage, rage, rage against the dying of the light.
What's that from?
Do not go gentle into that good night. That is what that's from. It's a poem by Dylan Thomas.
Got it. Anyway, with all of that said and the ranting behind us, for the next episode, we're going to do Best Served Cold. So do that mission for our next conversation, and we will see you back here to discuss that in 2 weeks.
If you like what you heard here, please follow us on social media. We're at ReignitePod on Blue Sky, YouTube, and Instagram, or you can send us an email at reignitepod@gmail.com. You can also find Matt and I on Blue Sky as DJ Stormageddon and Frankie B. Writes. Also, I would like to say you can email us your thoughts directly if you do not want to join the Discord or you don't feel comfortable posting what you think for everyone else to see. We would love to hear from you. We would love to share your thoughts. We would love to just know that you're doing okay.
Yeah. Also, if you don't want us to share your thoughts, but you want us to read them, that's also valid. Put that in the email, and we're happy. We're happy to just get emails and read them, let alone share them. So we're just happy to hear from y'all.
Also, I'm serious. I really want to see like anything that you have created with your own two hands. Like, send us emails of things that you've made so I can like shout you out and talk about how talented you are.
And made with your two hands is figurative as well as literal. Like, anything you've made, it doesn't have to just be a physical object. It can be digital art. It can be like literally anything.
As it's you that made it. That's what I meant.
Correct. Yeah.
Or maybe you have 3 hands, or maybe you have 1. I don't know. As long as you made it, that's what I care about.
Yeah, correct. The amount of hands. I don't want to know
if you made it with your feet, though.
No, keep that to yourself.
No, keep that to yourself.
Yeah,
we don't kink shame except that one.
Also,
very strong feelings about it.
Okay. Please rate and review and subscribe if you're not subscribed on your favorite podcatcher if you can. It helps people find us so we can grow this wonderful community. Ratings and reviews are the fastest, cheapest, and easiest way you can support this podcast. Every review we get boosts us in the algorithm and helps people find the show and join our incredible community. We have some of the best listeners on the internet, and we would love to grow this wonderful community with y'all. So please rate and review if you have not yet.
There are 3 pigeons just chilling on my roof.
Okay.
Just standing there. Not even looking for food. I fed them this morning. They're just standing there, looking out into the distance. I'm concerned. But you should not be concerned because we are members of the Certain Point of View Network. Visit certainpov.com to find more nerdy podcasts, each with a unique point of view. You can also find a permanent invite link to our Discord server on the website. Join the conversation.
Yes, please. Like I said, we love chatting in the Discord. We have a bunch of podcasts that cover a variety of nerdy topics and spaces to discuss those nerdy topics, from TV and movies to books to comics to video games to all sorts of stuff. So please come through and hang. Also, as far as personal plugs go, I don't really have anything new to plug other than my other podcast, Fun and Games, which I do with the incredible Jeff Moonen. As of when we're recording, this is shortly after we did our year in review episode where Jeff and I discuss our top 10 games, as well as talk about our year from the perspective of the podcast and our year in the perspective of how gaming was in 2025. So if you like those kind of year-end wrap-ups or just want to check out a podcast, it's a new podcast. It's a good starting point because it's kind of just a broad topic about games in general. So you can go check that out.
As for me, my website is still active. That's frankiebwrites.com. You can hire me for podcasting, writing, crafting services. Kick me a couple of dollars for coffee. Send me a message. Don't check out my blog. I've done nothing with it. And I am ashamed. Deeply, deeply ashamed. But I exist on the internet for whatever that's worth.
You should not be ashamed.
So ashamed.
You should not be ashamed. You should just accept the fact that it's hard to do things sometimes. We would like to thank Case Aiken, who is very good at doing things, for developing amazing t-shirts for us that you can find at certainpov.com or on the Certain POV Teespring. Also, thanks to Case for designing each individual episode show art. You're the best.
We'd like to thank Miracle of Sound for our theme music. If you've been jamming along, then you should head to miracleofsound.rocks and check out Gavin Dunn's other music and merch.
Please do that. Also, thank you to Red Spinks for designing our Dragon Age inspired logo. To see more of his work, you can go to Chaos Does Art on Instagram.
And lastly, thank you for listening. I'm Frankie.
And I am Matt A.K. Stormageddon.
And remember, all Templars are bastards. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. The wise men at their end know dark is right. Because their words have forked no lightning key. Do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men, near death, we see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle to that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light.
Fight for your values and fight for your friends. Fight through this blight, find the light at the end. Through the age of the dragon, the people will talk of the day they were saved by a hero named Hawk. Hawk, 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 Hawk.
CPOV. CertainPOV.com.